Hey guys, Bill Flipper here, and I was I'm gonna be honest, shocked at how well me talking to a camera about my experience selling on Amazon did, so we're gonna give it another try here. So, this is basically if I had to start again today, what I would do. And I did a video before, but it was kind of a little bit clunky, so this is really me just spitting off the top of my head. I have nothing prepared and kind of if I had to start from day one and to giving people advice. My first thing, so I've actually had many people approach me and they see what I do. They see I work from home and they say, how can I do that? And my first advice is if you have a job, you're going to have to work there. You're going to have to continue to work there and maybe even do this for a while. And my first advice is obviously, let's say you've already started the seller account. If not, you need to start the seller account, start an eBay account, start a Mercari account, get all those things, um, and go around your house. So say you have zero. Let's just go say you have zero, or you have very limited, $100. The first plan is start flipping things around your house you don't need. This is a book. I do read it every day. It's a great book. And this also, I'm going to get a little bit into mindset, but this book, I already bought it. I've read it. I read it actually every day. It's one of those books like with dates. So like, you know, uh, they have a date for March 30th, April 20th, whatever. We're on April 20th. So, um, what I would do is start selling the things around your house. Start selling the things around your house. Start doing those. Um, Once you can build up a bankroll, that's going to be the best thing. Build up that bankroll, and then what my job for if I was talking to someone is to conserve capital. I don't want you going out and trying your first OARA item, especially OA. OA has very much slimmer margins. My first plan would be to get you to go to a couple thrift stores, turn that 100 into 200, do that a couple times, do a shipment, make sure this is something you want to do, make sure you understand what it entails, and then when you're comfortable and you go, yeah, this is actually what I want to do. I don't maybe it is perfectly fine if it's not something you want to do. Maybe you want to go to thrift stores and flip stuff on eBay. You're like, I like this more. I like being around collectibles. I like those things. That's absolutely fine too. So, but you've gone there, you've done a shipment, and you've rolled your $100 by selling things at your house and some thrift stores. You've rolled it into 300, $400. Okay. So now I'm going to send you, this is what I would do is one, you'd have my advice is get ungated. There's tons of ungated guides. They're all free. Get ungated and probably grocery at least, personal care. And I don't know if clothing is gated. I'm not sure. I haven't heard whether that is or isn't. If it is, um, get ungated and that I can't imagine it. I haven't heard. I started my account in 2017, so I don't know. I know they gate grocery afterwards and beauty and personal care. So don't worry about Nike. Don't worry about any of those things. Worry about these things. Grocery is great and personal care is great. And then instead of going to OA again, I'm going to take you. I would go to RA. And this is a perfect example. So the other day, a few weeks ago, Kohl's had the first. It's 50% of all clearance. So again, I always put this out there. They had $48 bras for like $4 to $12. And some of them were down to $3.30. That's how cheap they were. So you could take that 400 and at a sale like that, you could easily turn it into 1,000. That is completely possible. So, and that's not buying any Nike Adidas. That is Bally and Maiden for bras. Actually, I have a short about that. So I might have an analysis video of an RA item. But the point is, I'm trying to get you to learn the process and slowly bankroll and at best not lose money. You will lose money on some of these bras, but it's going to be much better that you lose money on a $6 bra than you spent $600 on OA item. So that's what I would do. I would move into that, start getting comfortable as you get that. Another thing is say you do some RA in a store and then you're like, whoa, it is a great grocery item. I'm going to pull them up on my phone and see if I can buy that online. And that is another option. So you're learning the process, you're conserving money, you're seeing keep a chart, you're seeing the only tools I would get is The truth is, the seller, if I was conserving you money, you don't need inventory yet, just starting Inventory Lab, and you don't need Seller Amp. You will need the Seller Central app, which is free and keep, but you will need those two. So that is non-negotiable. As you get bigger, you will need to conserve time. So possibly the Inventory Lab would be a very quick second, because I would early in the days, I wanted to conserve money so much, I would actually spend like 8 hours a week doing shipments when Inventory Lab knocked it down to two. So that was at one point you get to where you're like, this isn't conserving money. This is actually wasting a ton of money because it is just not fruitful. So um okay, you're here, you've moved up, you're ready for Inventory Lab. Now you can start, like I said, maybe nibbling. Let's say you get $1,000. If you had $1,000, I would say, and you've learned the process. This isn't you're starting with $1,000. You're going to go to OA. This is not that. Even at $1,000, I would say maybe spend 20%. If you're really comfortable, you're finding an OA item, you have a great sale. Adidas, like even now, has 30% off, like sneakers, 20% off, like knockdown prices on Nike. But even that, like, you've learned that process, or like you found an item in store in Kohl's and you went on the website. Now I would start slowly deploying that and learning the process. My issue is if you spend 700 of it right away, you don't know the process. And worse than break even, you didn't see that, and I have a lot of videos on analyzing OA procs. So please, if you like this video, if you like everything, like, comment, subscribe. I really like the input. I really do this. I try to provide as much value. There are some affiliate links down below, but if you're a true beginner, you don't need those. You don't need Seller Amp yet. If you're at the process where you have the account, you're learning. Seller Amp is a tool I use every day. Scout IQ is only for books. If you're not doing books, you don't need it. If you are going to start the process of doing books, you will need a tool like that. You will need a tool because there's lots of videos on it. It speeds through all the junk. It speeds through all the junk. So if you go in and you're seeing books and you're like, I'm in this huge place, I don't know where to start, you go for nonfiction. You go for nonfiction. Um, Cheap dime paperback fiction, they're not going to be worth anything. Almost zero chance will be worth anything. So you can skip over that. You're going to look for nonfiction, things that teach you how to do something, things that explain things. Textbooks are, often known to be very good, especially recent ones. So you're going to do all those types of things. So the best thing that I find for an early OA item is find something that's RA and then try to find it online. That's a great process. Or you found, like I said, you found a great item and now you're trying to source it from more places. That's a good way to start. And once you get very familiar, like I said, the Kohl's 50% off clearance, you may be much more comfortable looking and saying, okay, I'm on the website now. I've sold these items similar, and this is just a crazy good price. It's all about putting in those reps, building that confidence. And I have AC Flips is a great channel. I have an interview. I really want to drop that. Just say it was great to be on there. He tried just to provide a ton of value, and so do I. And I think as long as we continue to provide value, it's going to come back to us tenfold. And we really went into a lot of beginner questions. I try to explain them to the best of my ability. And if you drop, questions, I try to always answer them. Sometimes I can make a video, sometimes I can't, depending on what how in depth the question really needs to be go. If it needs to go in depth, I think a lot of people will get value from that. I happily will make a video. So I guess you've bought some OA. So we're at the point in this imaginary journey where you bought some OA items and you're starting to see what a good item is and what's not. Again, if books and RA are your bread and butter, and see, the things that people don't understand is so like a market is always like trying to stabilize itself. So like the fact that if you get clearance bras in Philadelphia, they might not be the same bras in Utah. So that the fact is you make way more money in RA because not all the same items are clearance across the same price. The people who are on CVS.com, everyone can see that price and everyone can get that pretty much with the same coupon. You can try and build a better moat, but so the people, so because 100 people can get that deal on CVS.com and only 3 people can get locally, the 100 people quickly fight for the best price. They fight for the buy box, and the prices tank. And the only way to learn how to avoid that is basically to put in the reps and to make bad buys and to see what you have to look out for and to usually find items with extremely high volume. I mean, to really avoid price tanking when it's an easily available item, you have to find sub 5K, sub 10K ranks. I have a lot of videos on that. So if you enjoy this stuff and watch the channel, so those are the process. If you're starting from new, is I would start with some books. I would sell things around your house. I would go to the clearance. I would learn that. Like I said, get ungated in grocery, get ungated in beauty and personal. And I don't think apparel is, but I don't know. If it is, it's probably very easy to get ungated in because you could probably just why get engaged? They explain it really well in many videos. You find you can use retail sites. Used to be distributors, wholesalers, but now mostly they take retail. You always want to make sure your information matches perfectly on your account. So if it's John Smith on the account, don't get on the invoice Jonathan Smith. Don't get Mr. Jonathan Smith. It has to be John Smith if that's what's on the account. You can have a real pain in the butt if you didn't get it to match. So, that's kind of what I would do, and I would slowly inch into all those things. I believe you can do it. I believe anyone can do this business. Trust me, I'm not that smart. I really push that, and that's not getting down on myself, but basically, I'm nothing special. If you can read a chart, if you can, it's really reps. I mean, do you think many of these people who do anything, sure, there's some talent, but mostly I just do this day in and day out. And if I played chess every single day for 4 hours a day, within 2 or 3 years, you're going to get really good at it. Even if though you can't be a world master at it, you're going to get so good it's ridiculous because you're going to be listening and reading about it and practicing and playing. That's really all this is. It's nothing that you have to be a genius about. It's just you put so much time in, it's inevitable you will get good at it. And my point is to give you the room to get good at it before you lose all your money, and you don't want to do that. I don't know why anyone would advise someone to start right away with OA. That's fine. I don't push that advice because I think, for me, I think there's a lot of people who just want to make enough money they can be home with their kids or they can live comfortably. You know what I mean? Like I said, I think that's more, I mean, I think also don't have limiting beliefs. If you want more, don't put yourself down like you can't have $1 million business. I believe you certainly can. Anybody who's watching this business certainly can. But you can also say, man, I don't want to work 18-hour days. I want to go to my son's T-ball game. So those are, so if you're okay with that and understanding what you have to do to get there, I think that's great. If you'd rather go to your son's T-ball game or do something along those lines, that's also perfectly great. I'm probably more of the latter. So, and another great thing, I was just thinking about this today. So I had to go, my son's birthday's coming up. I had to buy 24 cupcakes, which was, and juice boxes. It was like $35. But because I'm a reseller, I'm in there and I actually found items to pay for everything. So I bought products there to sell on Amazon, and I basically got all that stuff for free. So that's really cool, and that's the power of it. Because I mean, I always try to when I go places try to offset it if possible by reselling. You can't always do that, but it is a cool aspect of it. And a lot of people talk about that, the ability to offset your purchases with reselling if you find the right items. And so I'm seeing, another thing if you're brand new is as you're doing these things, you must consume content. There's too much. Like, how would you get good at chess without reading books on chess or listening to chess podcasts or watching in channels like this? I mean, I really have explained this out there. That's the channel I would take. You go into books, you're going to get, basically the way I just outlined, you could start with $100 because you don't really have $100. You have probably $300 of junk sitting around your house that you don't use or haven't looked at for 3 years, and you're going to flip that. And so you're really almost everyone can start with 300 or $400. There's no way you don't have stuff you can sell. You have that whatever, that broken thing in the corner, that the old clothes, the hoodies you never wear, but they're used, gently used. So you build up to 300, and if you're not engaged in peril, I would go hit up the Coles. But if you are, and you just start the YouTube channel, start an Instagram, reach out to people like me. My Instagram's down below, and say I'm brand new. Any advice on this? Or hey, you know what? I build up to a grand. Here's my first OA product. I'm not gonna copy it. Or if you're concerned, like, hey, I found these two products. Are you seeing any red flags? This looks too good to be true. And there's a lot of products that look too good to be true, and they are true. Like they're great ROI, but the problem is they're easy to find, and I really outline that a lot on my channel, where it's extremely profitable a month ago, but then you see everybody found it and the price tanks by 50% because, like I said, it's too easy to get, and that's the difference between OA and RA. And that's why I've been actually, if you live in an urban area or a place with a lot of stores, I would do RA more. I really have been trying to move a little bit back to RA because the profits are so good and you don't deal with the price tanking. The problem is you're driving all over, and it can be more time consuming but more profitable. So there's pluses and minuses to everything. Another option is you can put up Facebook ads and say, hey, I will come and get your books. I'll come take them away. Ask your friends, ask your family, hey, can I go through your books? Can I do some of this stuff? You know, they're not, don't have any worry about what anybody thinks about it. I started this channel, I'm 38, I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I'm trying to help people. I work from home. I'm trying to do all that. So I successfully do it. So I'm happy. You know what I mean? Uh, no concerns there. So just don't be afraid to put yourself out there and to ask for things and to ask for, if I can check out your books, if I can do this for free, because it can build up your build your cash flow up, and then you can move to the first OA and RA, and on it goes. But the business certainly doesn't run itself. I think a lot of people eventually put out the thing, I work an hour a week, which I'm sure some people do, or an hour a day. I get my VAs to find the leads, they buy it and they ship it to the prep center. I don't touch it. That's not me. And you know, to me, it's work. I have a lot more hands on the business. I like to work. I like to stay busy, and that's me. And that's probably, you're going to have to put the nose to the grindstone the first year probably. So don't, it's not going to quickly flip to hands off. The thing's a turnkey operation, boom boom boom, you know. So that's all I have for today. That's my advice for anybody starting. My other advice is, really quickly, there's a great book, and I want to put it to, you know one thing that I have trouble with is, I push people to really turn off the news. I don't get too caught up in it, but sometimes I think it's much better to listen to Tony Robbins, Wayne Dyer, a lot of this positive stuff, and take that hour a day, take that half hour a day for personal care, for self care, and you'll really see your business grow. And you'll really see yourself grow. I mean, even having that personal time, that care, whether that's meditation, whether that's a reading, whatever that is, to I think we are bombarded with negativity, and the key to that is not letting it in. The key is putting up a shield to that and just saying, I'm not going to look at this. I'm not going to view this. I don't use Facebook at all. I think it is. I think we know what it is. It's purposely trying to upset you. They want emotional reaction. Just delete the thing. Unless you're using it for business, delete the thing. There's no reason for it. Set up things to not scare. I mean, put your nose to the grindstone, get out negativity. If you switched watching I would love to run this experiment. 100 people, 100 people who watch, let's say, an hour of news a day, and they had to switch that out with an hour podcast of Tony Robbins. In 1 month, they would be so much better off and so much happier. I'd love to run that experiment, but I'm a little busy, as you can see. So, putting that in, to do that self-care, take time out, put positive things, and write gratitude lists. You know, even when things are hard, you are, probably, because you're watching YouTube, much better off than so many people in this world, and trying to remember that and trying to do the right thing. So that's all I have for today. if you like the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. There are, like I said, it's not showcased. There's 2 affiliate links for Scout IQ. If you're going to do books, you will at some point need to get Scout IQ or something like it. But if you're not doing books, you don't have to worry about that. If you're past this stage and you're doing online arbitrage, there's SellerAmp in there. But again, this video was really made for the beginner or how far along you are on that journey. You may or may not need SellerAmp. I use it again every day because I'm doing an active online arbitrage business I've run for years. I think that's it. If you like it, let me know. If you hate it, you can tell me that too in the comments below. Um, Everybody have an amazing day, an amazing week. I will put more videos out there soon. Have a great week. Goodbye.